Now I was just about to rewire this. I put in a new switch. That's the new switch there, which is slightly too high, and everything has to be wired in sideways, because if it was wired on the top, it would put a little bulge on the upper case, which will be there anyway, because that just is, this is a very thin guitar. Now what you see here is a temporary wiring job to prove the efficacy of my wiring, to make sure it works and everything works like this. Now I have to strip that all away and make it look neat, because I hate the look of it. But I don't see any reason why you'd want to watch that. That there is just a temporary connector holding things together. All these wires will be gone. So what I'll do is I'll let you have a good look now to see what it looks like, and then when I've finished I'll come back again. This has been a lot of months in the making this, because I couldn't get a switch that would fit the shallowness of the guitar. Let me just see if you can see the shallowness of this handmade guitar. You can see my thumb, how shallow it is. So I'll come back to you when I've done this wiring. All right? Okay, that is it tidied up, and an extra earth wire put in from there to the switch, even though there is another earth on it, but I wanted to be sure. I put in some extra copper shielding around the switch as well, and I've earthed it too, and I've gone through each of the copper shields joins and sealed them with solder. I'm not going to be signing my name to this. I'm not the world's best solderer, but what my final goal is to get them solid, good and solid. May not be the prettiest, but it's good and solid. And finally, when I put the cover on, this switch is too high by fraction. So what I did is I scored out the back of the plate to make it fit a bit better. And I also use copper shielding on this, and it will screw down onto the other copper shielding and give a solid little, so it's sitting up. Not happy with it sitting up too much, but there's not much more I can take down. We had a lot of trouble getting the switch that was narrow enough, so there's a little bit of, maybe you can feel it. So I'm going to pre-warn the owner never to put too much, throw it down on the floor, stomp on it. Although I do know the owner plays at home and he'll be fine. But that's it, and I'll probably have a little tune on it next after I've put it all together. Well, this has been a long, long road. Probably the guitar that's been in my place the most often and the longest. This is the handmade guitar by Ernie Middleton. Beautiful guitar. The width of look at the width of my finger, that nearly the width of a thumb. That's how thin it is. That was also causing the problem too, because the switch had broken and we couldn't get a switch thin enough. So I had to cobble together a switch, but it's all working now, I'm glad to say. Interesting thing about this, been sitting for 2 months up on the hook, and when I just went to tune it there, it was almost perfectly in tune, still after sitting for nearly 2 months with new strings on it. So all sounds lovely. That's both pickups. Lovely sounding guitar. That's the front ones. And that's the back one, which is more rock and rolly. And then when you pull the pot switch, you get a sort of a phased. And that's on the back one. That's the front. And that's both. And you can change the phase. With, without. So basically that's it. It's going home. goodbye. And much as I love you, I hope I never see you again. Goodbye.